Hi, I'm Pastor Sammy, and I'm so glad you've joined me again for another children's sermon on this week's gospel message. Now, this week's gospel's got a lot going on, and it can get a little complicated, but I want to focus in on one part, and that is the comparison of the two brothers. The first one said that he would go out and help his father in the field, but then he ditched him. He never showed up. The other one said he didn't care to go. But at the end of the day, he actually did help him. Jesus compares these two brothers and asks the religious leaders, asks us, which one did the right thing? Well, it was clear to those religious leaders, and it's clear to us too. The one who did the right thing, even though he said he wouldn't, he was the one who did the right thing. That is the example we should all be following. Now, ideally, our words and our actions and our heart and our intentions and our faithfulness in our relationships and our faithfulness to God, those would all line up together all the time. But sometimes that's not really the case. I know that in my family, there are people that I can call anytime and they'll drop what they're doing and they'll help me out in any way that they can, even if it's just to listen, or it could be as big as coming all the way to where I live to help me out. My family has done that before. Or in a time like right now when I don't have a lot of family around, I know that there are friends that I can call and they'll be here in a minute, as soon as they can, to help me however they can. And I hope that they know that I would do the same for them. But sometimes it's not somebody that we have a relationship with. Sometimes it's a complete stranger. Like there was this one time when I was in South Dakota and it was the winter and it was gross and so cold and I was so far from home. And then my tire blew on my car and I couldn't go anywhere. I was stuck. I went to the back to my trunk and I got out the spare and I got out my jack and I started to go over to my tire and take it off, but I'd never done it myself before and it was not an ideal time or ideal conditions for that kind of work. And I was so grateful when a car pulled up behind me and a man came out and asked if he could help. I didn't know anything about him. I'd never seen him before. He didn't know anything about me. He didn't even, frankly, know if he could trust me, but he did it anyway. He stopped and he helped me, and it was such a hard job. The tire was frozen onto the car, and we had to work so hard at it. Really, he did almost all of the work. And at the end, still all we knew about one another was first names. We wished one another good luck on your drive and have a good day, and that was it. I'll never see that man again. He'll never see me again. I'll never be able to pay him back. And I don't know what it is about his life that made him so willing to help a complete stranger. If it was his faith or if it's just that he's a good-hearted person and has that intention. But that day, his good-heartedness and his actions and his words lined up together to help me, and I'm so grateful. And I hope that even if I can't repay him back, that I can repay that kind of favor to somebody else in the future. Hopefully it's not in the winter with a blown tire. That's not really my best gift, but I hope that I can help somebody else, even if they're a stranger. I wonder what that would look like for you. How your heart and your words and your actions can line up together, that you can be faithful to God and faithful to your neighbor, to everyone. I think that's what God is calling us to. I think that's what God hopes for us, even though we are not perfect. Even though sometimes we are unfaithful, that is the kind of life God is calling us to. Thanks for joining me again. I'll see you next time.